can see just how much water is coming through Rock Run right now. It's pretty incredible, and it's impressive how loud this all is. Well, we've got about 45 minutes until the sun sets behind these ridges around here. Gonna down in where all the creeks have cut through the mountains. It's getting a little chilly down in here. When I started at around 12:30, it was 58 degrees here, which is pretty chilly. But we're at the end of September. We're almost the beginning of October, so it's expected. We're down here by the water, by two different creeks, so the air is going to be a little cooler. So we don't expect too much warm air, I guess, right? We've got a decent fire going, although everything is really wet. Even the standing dead timber that I cut is still pretty wet, and there's not a lot of other dead timber around. These campsites are used a lot throughout the year. So really any wood that comes down is pretty much gobbled up, and you got to act quick. The birch that I collected, the birch bark, worked really well. Kept that fire going just enough to start getting everything up. I'm going to sit here and eat a little bit. Well, good evening. It's about 7 o'clock. Getting real dark, or starting to get real dark. And I'm thinking of going to bed. I've been sitting here in front of this fire for about an hour and a half, just relaxing for the first time in a really, really long time, and enjoying the time to myself and the quiet. Even though there's a ton of water in the background, it's really peaceful and good for the soul. If you can, get yourself out in the woods and enjoy the time. Well, it's been quite a day. It is dark, almost officially dark, but here in the woods it's real dark. We got a nice fire going, and just sitting here and whittling some sticks and playing with knives and just watching the fire burn down a little bit before going to bed. There's nothing more relaxing than sitting in front of a fire, am I right? Good evening. I'm inside my tent. It is rather roomy, if I do say so myself, without blinding myself here. Got a little top up there. You can see ventilation is pretty darn good, and I am calling it a night. It's been quite a day. Did a couple of miles, nothing too strenuous, nothing crazy. But loving the relaxation, the fire, which is almost out now, but it's still burning out there just a little bit, just enough to give a little glow, which is kind of nice. So other than that, I'll let you have a good night, and I'll check back with you in the morning, unless something happens in the middle of the night that you might be interested in. Hopefully not. All right, good night.
2,000 years later.
Well, good morning. It's about 6:30. It got cold. It got real cold. But it didn't rain. That's a plus. I had to go use a tree. And now I'm getting dressed. It's cold. I want to get back in my sleeping bag and curl up, but fire doesn't start itself, and the rocks don't set themselves back up. So, good morning.
Good morning. We're dressed and ready to go. I think. Just like that, we got our tent down. Cool. Well, alright, there you have it. That's the Peregrine Radama 1 or Radama 1. I used to work for a company called Liberty Mountain several years ago, and you can find this Radama 1 and the entire line of tents for 2, the 4, and the 6 person. At libertymountain.com or Liberty Mountain Outdoors. Very slick, very easy to set up, very easy to take down. Highly recommend it. It's not the lightest piece of equipment in the world, but it does have a fast fly option where you have just the bottom and the rain fly. You can make it a little bit lighter without the netting. All right. What I've got here is the Vaude, and it is German, so it is pronounced Vaude with a F instead of a V. But this is the Vaude Century 65 plus 10. It is a beast of a pack. It's a good pack. I've loved it for several years. It has the large sleeping bag, an accessory pocket at the bottom, a front opening pouch on the front, as well as the zipper pouch. The lid can come off and you can store a ton of stuff up in the map pocket and the other accessory pockets. Side pockets, has attachments all over it. The suspension system is pretty slick too, where you can, on the fly, even while wearing it, you can pull this yellow tab or this orange tab and you can slide the suspension system for the back all the way up and down so you can adjust the load as you're going. Pretty slick. These are also available from libertymountain.com and from Liberty Mountain. You can also find these at a lot of outdoor shops and outdoor retailers around the country. Walk in and ask if they have Vaude. This rain fly that comes with these packs has a little storage garage underneath That way you never lose them. They zip right up. Done. Well, this morning we're about ready. We're going to start cooking up. And because there's no dry firewood at all, I used it all last night. I'm going to use my stove. This is the Lycoming XTS stove. I'm going to use this here in just a minute, but first, we're going to go get more water. Well, it's a good thing I got packed up and ready to go. It's starting to rain. Surprise! Alright everybody, I don't have much time left on my card, so this is going to have to be it. But I made it back to the car just in time. It's actually raining. And the forecast was supposed to be sunny and nice all weekend. So, hey, you take what you get. But drinking some water out of my vapor pouch. These things are awesome. I love Nalgene bottles, but once they're empty, they're kind of a waste of space. They're wonderful things, but these vapor bags, once they're done, you can roll them right up and shove them in a small pocket. They don't take up much more space than the lid itself. So thanks for getting lost with me this weekend. We had a good time, and we'll see you on the next one.